One more item from the game that was on Sunday night. That stupid-ass do-over that was one of the most bizarre moments, in part because I don't think anybody really knew what was going on, which created an even greater sense of ambiguity. It all happened because the field judge, the back judge, one of the judges, here comes the judge. And he literally came into the screen. He had tried to kill the play before it started because the game clock was running when it shouldn't have been running. So they killed the play. The play happened. Nobody noticed. Here he comes, upper left. He's killing the play as the play is starting. The Chiefs don't get the first down. They get a mulligan. They get a chance to do it again. Well, we talked about this yesterday. Okay, fine. The official sees the clock is running. He's trying to rectify the error. Game clock operator made a mistake. No, that's not what happened. You go back and watch the game. On the prior play, there was an incomplete pass. The ball wasn't spotted in the right place after the incompletion. They spotted that. They went out and they moved it. Ron Torbert, the referee, said to the world, and I'm paraphrasing, but this is basically what he said. On my signal, the game clock and the play clock will begin. Not the play clock only. He said both. He gave the direction, on my signal, start the game clock. He's the one that made the mistake here, not the game clock operator. And I don't know what the communication is. You know, I know they all have the earpiece in. I don't know who can talk to the referee, but they need to have a path to the game clock operator to ask the referee or say to the referee, whoa. Somebody needed to say to Ron Torbert at that point, the game clock does not start on your signal, just the play clock. So whether it was the game clock operator, I mean, it could have been 3:45. Somebody could have said to Ron Torbert, no, the game clock shouldn't start. But I think the game clock operator, when he or she gets a command that they should know, conflicts with the rules, because incomplete pass, clock stops until the next play starts. You need to be able to hit a panic button to tell somebody. And it shouldn't be I guess my point is, we never should have had this mulligan. We never should have had this do-over because, number one, Ron Torbert made a mistake, and number two, apparently there was no mechanism for fixing it before you create this bad outcome where it makes people think the NFL is rigged even though it isn't.
Well, right. And fortunately, it really didn't affect the outcome of the game all that much. I mean, at least some of the Bengals feel that way. I saw Jesse Bates say that, that they got the stop. So this wasn't as egregious as it could have been. But yeah, I mean, when you have an officiating mistake that we all see happen in real time, and then we all see the consequences of that, where you can get the mulligan. I mean, first of all, why isn't the judge coming in there waving his arms more frantically? It's like he stops doing it once he sees that the play is kind of starting. Like, no, dude. If you realize that there's a mistake, like you gotta come in there with some gusto. I mean, I know that we're not here to see officials and them do whatever they want to do, but that's one where if you recognize a mistake, you really need to be emphatic about it. So it was an officiating mistake. It got corrected. It didn't change the outcome of the game, fortunately. And, at least we can put this to bed.
But it did force the Bengals to stop the Chiefs again, even though they'd already stopped the Chiefs, and it did chew off more time on the clock. I mean, that's the irony, if irony is being used properly by me in this case, and who the hell knows. This whole exercise in making sure that time didn't unnecessarily come off the clock resulted in more time coming off the clock and shortening the game, because the Bengals should have had the ball back sooner than they did, and that would have affected everything, and did affect everything that happened thereafter. Every play call, every scenario, everything. If you reset the clock, it affects everything.
Didn't it not? If they reset the clock to where it was supposed to be, then shouldn't there been less time coming off? It wasn't.
No, but my point is more time came off to process the rest of the drive to get to the point where we ended up, where the Bengals got the ball back. I'm saying if that play had counted.
Okay.
If you count that play, they get the ball back on the next play with 10:19 on the clock. Instead, they got the ball back later because the Chiefs had several more snaps before they had to punt. All right, we have to punt. Maybe Kellen Moore really did leave the Cowboys under a mutual decision? If so, the first truly mutual decision of all time, because Moore crash landed on his feet just one day after leaving the Cowboys. We'll discuss that when this Tuesday edition of PFT Live continues right after this. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.